Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to have a challenge here. We're going to have a challenge where I'm not going to use a single charge move in the entire video. And I just want to test it out because we have finally a meta where it's a little cup meta, which is already very squishy. Without any crazy XL Pokemon that makes it all very slow. And so we're going to have here, of course, a triple team that is going to be triple Shadow, triple fast move pressure, and we have barely any speed up for the battles here, even though we have 14 battles. It should have been 15, we're going to talk about this a bit later. But yeah, we're going to have here 14 battles in this entire video of 14 minutes and 16 seconds. So a lot of people are like always, oh, if you don't have sped up gameplay, it looks like if it's slowed down or anything like this, you're just used to it from YouTube being sped up. But as you're going to see as well, games are insanely fast. And so while maybe it looks a bit weird in the beginning especially, we see here already on how fast those battles are. Look at the opponent stopping into the Amora. You're gonna see not a single charge move from me here today. Of course we're going to use a shield, but there are other changes I could do as well. For example, have a cup or something like this where I'd never use a single shield. If you want to see something like this, let me know down below. But of course, there are going to be battles here today where I would have been able to win some battles if I used charge moves against the opponent, especially Brick Break on my lead of Golet. I always want to say the German name for whatever reason. Has a lot of usage in a lot of cases here, but this team literally just tapping. Like we have here, for example, a Ninetales. We don't even have a charge move for this Pokemon. We have Frustration on this Pokemon, but it doesn't really matter. As you're gonna see as well, we're gonna knock out the opponent's Fletchling, and they decide to forfeit here. But not all games are gonna go all the time very well. And here we're gonna talk a bit of one thing that I also would like to change for the team. I would have liked to have an Incinerate user on this team. I have to say, the Incinerate user would have been better than the Ninetales. Out of all the Pokemon, funny enough, the Pokemon I thought would be the best was the worst. Ninetales was for me by far the worst Pokemon to play here today. There was next to no usage for this Pokemon. There were a lot of Steel-type Pokemon though, that of course I needed my Golet here for it. But Ninetales would have been definitely good. If you wonder why I let the move go through there, there were a lot of times as well, by the way, I think this was one of them. There were a lot of times where the opponent got charge moves through that they should have never got through, which was really annoying. I think this was one of the cases as well, where I just lost because of this as well, 1 or 2 battles. Which is just, it is what it is, it's the game that we play. But yeah, basically, I feel like I would have really liked to have a fire type on this team here, because I feel like fire types are very strong right now. But as you can see as well, this battle we are sadly going to lose. And while we didn't have really crazy sped up here today, because there's no real reason, because the battles are insanely fast anyway. Here I make a mistake as well. Show went into my Skarmory for sure. Like this was a big mistake to sub into my Charmer against the opponent's Altaria. We may be gonna see still which Pokemon they're going to have in the back though. We will see a charge move coming through from them. Here of course it's very... I didn't expect that we were gonna see any Pharaoh Seed. I have to say I played of course the matchups here, like the Cup a bit of times before already. I feel like 6 or 7 sets I did already beforehand. I've never really seen Pharaoh Seed. This Pokemon definitely got a little bit more play now. But I definitely can say that, yeah, this was a fun challenge for me. Like, it was super fun to do those battles in like 1 minute, basically. We had, I think I had 17 minutes total time with like the queue up and whatever before and after, which I always cut out for the videos, of gameplay for 14 sets, which 14 battles, which is kind of madness. Like 17 minutes for 14 battles with all the stuff in front and behind it is crazy. So against Golet in the lead here, you are always going to see me swap out. The reason for this is we're going to have a lead that's going to be great against Fire-type Pokemon. We're going to have a Say-Swap that's going to be weak to Fire types, and of course a Pokemon in the back again is going to be weak to Fire-type Pokemon. And so just in case they're going to have this one, I always kind of rather go ahead and go for the Say-Swap if we have the same leads here with the Golet, especially because if I'm going to align myself later on, I would have a Flying-type Pokemon against the Golet, which would be, of course, way better in terms of the Skarmory. The Skarmory was actually really cool. I liked Skarmory a lot. Here, for example, this opponent should have never got this move through. This could have completely changed the entire matchup. I'm not too sure what they have in the back. I should have usually not get the move through here. Usually I don't get this benefit that the opponent got there. Let's see what they have in the back. I might have been able to win this battle. I'm very certain I actually would have been able to win this battle if it wasn't for this kind of inconsistency in the game. And here again, this would have been better if I had a fire type in the back here, but I was looking at the fire types as well. There was not really a great Shadow Incinerate user. Okay, here the opponent going to have the Geodude coming in against us. We're going to have, you know, again, our, of course, Golett coming back in. But at least I feel like Scummy going to have a lot of potential here for this battle. I hope that there's going to be another rock type in the back that maybe is not a rock electric type. This would be kind of great, because if it's just a pure rock type, our Scummy going to have way more play. Here again, this battle would have been quite an easy one as well. I feel like if I would have been allowed to go for Brick Break here, because then I could have stopped out a little bit earlier or get the defense drop onto them. But I decided, of course, yeah, to not go for a charge move, because the entire challenge is to never go for a charge move here. As we will see the shield coming up, I just kind of have to preserve some of my health, because I expect a fast move beatdown Pokemon in the back. It is sadly the Graveler, which I already made a video about yesterday. Very strong Pokemon, especially with a Rock Throw. It is very, very overpowered, and nobody knows it because on PvPoke it is just not shown like this. Geodude, also fun Pokemon. This is the thing as well about this cup, by the way. I love this cup. I think it's a great cup. And yes, I do understand. For the people who are like, oh, I really want to have like consistent wins and like a consistent gameplay, I totally understand that you don't really like this cup. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand this. I get it. But for me, it is just funny to see so many different Pokemon. And while it is gonna go kind of towards like the fast move beatdown kind of variant here, also with the team that we are playing, it is still a very fun experience for me to see like kind of all of those different Pokemon, like the Geodude, like this Courtney here as well. Maybe it's going to be again a win for us. Again, Brick Break would have been lovely here. Brick Break going to allow us to drop the opponent's defense guaranteed. And this would have been great for the Ninetales now, because Charm would have done way more damage against them. Also, of course, the Mudstep going to do way more damage against them. But as you can see, we're still going to be able to win without using a single charge move here. And so we can move on to the next one. Ducklet in the lead is going to be a bit of an issue. This Pokemon definitely going to, like, is gaining currently a lot of more popularity. Something I kind of maybe want to take a look at as well. I have actually some leaderboards teams already that I kind of want to take a look at for the channel here as well. As we will see here, the opponent is going to go to the Ninetales, which is going to be beneficial for us because we have our, Steelwing user in the back. And I had to hope basically that there's a Pokemon in the back that I can deal with, but sadly they're just going to be able to hard wall us here, which is fine. We can't really do anything about it. We're just going to move on to the next one. Golett is going to be going up now against a spin now. We have to swap out of here. I should most likely go into the Skarmory instead, but I decided to go into the Ninetales. Get out the Litleo. I guess it's going to be okay here. We're going to get some charm damage in. This is also the main reason why I decided to go for the Ninetales as a say-so, because the charm damage is a bit better, generally speaking. And we can now use a shield against the opponent's Crunch, most likely here, onto our Golett. And we can definitely have a great time here. Again, I feel like it would have been better to have like an Incinerate user there as well on the team. But then again, on the other hand, a lot of times Incinerate users really enjoy having charge moves. And in this case, it is just, of course, not really ideal to have a video where I don't go for a single charge move and try to use Pokemon that really benefits from having charge moves. So like, for example, the Incinerate users have access to Flame Charge a lot of times, allowing them to do even more fast move pressure. And here, yeah, we're going to sadly lose this battle. Ferrothorn. This is going to be actually a very interesting matchup for us, because in an elite matchup, it's actually totally fine. We have to kind of have this kind of matchup here. And again, I didn't really expect that Ferrothorn and Ferroseed going to be that common as well. I was expecting that it would change eventually, but of course, based on the experiences that I did before in this cup, I just didn't really see that those Pokemon got a lot of usage. Talonflame is basically an instant loss for this team. There's nothing that I can do about Talonflame. I have an answer for Fire-type Pokemon, but Fire Flying type is just, again, a different kind of situation for us. If I had Brick Break here, like if I would have been able to go for Brick Break there as well, would have been a different situation. I think I actually had a chance of winning this battle then with Brick Break. Of course, I don't think that anybody is going to be at home and be like, yeah, I'm going to copy this challenge and not going to go for any charge move at all in any of the battles. But it is a fun challenge, and again, there was going to be a ton of wins that I would have had here if I went for Brick Break a lot of times. But it is definitely possible to win quite a lot of battles here without even going for a single charge move. We're going to have a great lead here. We're going to have the Litleo against us. We're going to go for the full farmland here with the Mudslap, and they don't even get another Incinerate through, which is lovely for us, as they're going to swap out into the Amura. I can swap out into my Charm Ninetales, doing a ton of damage here. We can use the shield. And of course, the energy isn't gonna go to waste here as well, because we don't care about energy here today. We're just gonna care about the raw damage, and it's going to be a Digger Spear in the back. Yeah, again, Pokemon where Brick Break would be super effective and going to help us out later as well for the damage output, but We don't care about it. We let the opponent go for a fire punch here. I let the move go through. I can go into my Golett here. And again, yeah, Brick Break would have been nice, but we are not going to care about it at all because Thackery is going to be our main Pokemon that we want to go into now. Fire Punch is going to connect here, going to knock us out, and we can swap out into the Thackery, fully farm them down, and this is going to be it for this battle. As you see here, that we can farm on the Amura. In between, I had one battle where I just completely forgot to record, and as you can see as well, I won the battle. Guess what? I just farmed on the opponent. Crazy for a video like this. But again, like, I feel like there would be a lot of cool challenges that we could do in the future. Not only for this cup, but also for the Open Great League. There were like definitely some ideas that I had. Like winning, for example, with just one Pokemon. Is it possible to win with one Pokemon? But also a lot of things could be a cool stream format. Here's the thing. I would like to go back to streaming as well. Thing is, I haven't been really having the time for that recently. But I feel like starting towards January, I'm very likely going to have the time again. By the way, I think this opponent gets a free fast move, a charge movement as well that they should have not got through, like this one. Unless it's not consistent. It was consistent against me today. It was never consistent for me though. It's definitely something that should not happen here. I wonder what's going to be impactful for us. Well, let's see what they're going to have in the back. It is going to be taking their time. The Golett, we can fully farm them down. We can use a shield against that charge move here as well. And now it depends if they're going to have a Pokemon in the back, but we would have liked to have that extra shield. It's going to be Brick Break, dropping our defense, not really ideal. They got a good game. There's nothing I can do here anyway. I gotta let them knock me out here and we can move on to the next opponent. Second to last battle already. Here we're going to have the Ferroseed against us. Very solid lead matchup. We can definitely play this one out and they swap on to the Golett, allowing us to go into the Thackery. Here it's going to be a matchup again where we would have quite some nice potential to get some extra energy, but again the energy actually doesn't really matter at all. On the Thackery I actually really have like here at least two Pokemon where the energy is not really as important. Yeah, Weather Ball is going to be fine to get to with the Ninetales, but like it's not as important to have. And for Thackery, getting to a charge move here in this meta is kind of nearly impossible. So yeah, that is totally fine for us. They're sadly going to have a Marowak in the back, means they have two hard answers to Fairy type Pokemon. And again, I feel like I would have had a lot more wins, of course, if I went for charge moves, but also I would have had a lot of wins if I would have had a fire type Pokemon instead of the Ninetales. I feel like this would have helped me out quite a bit. Even though then again I would have had a double water weakness, which I also didn't really want to have because of the Ducklet rising in popularity, and as you're gonna see as well, sadly Claw is just doing a little bit too much damage, and they're going to be able to go for the KO here against us. And we can now move on into the final battle of today's video. And thanks so much for sticking around for that long. I really appreciate it, especially for like a challenge video like this. We will see also the full results later on in like basically my entry book there thingy for Pokemon Go. So you see all the wins and all the losses. As they're going to have a great lead here, a great save-up for us as well. It's going to be the Fletchling. And we're going to be able to just go ahead and go for the full farm run here. I make a mistake by not using a shield here. I didn't expect that Fly would do that much damage. Fly, of course, is coming through. Here's the best move that this Pokemon can go for. It's actually enough to put us into range where Swift is going to be enough to knock us out. And so we're forced to use a shield here now. And yeah, that is going to be a bit of a problematic one. In comes the Swift. Again, here we're going to go for the full farm down here. Because, again, the entire video is about just farming down opponents. Just tap. We go for no charge move at all. And let's see on how this is going to go here. We're going to see the Vigoroth coming in. They're going to get some energy, but it doesn't really matter against the Golett. Golett is the German word. Golett is the English word. Here, if I would have been able to go for the Brick Break, I would have been in a really good spot because I could have just farmed them down. But like this, so we are not going to be able to do that because now we're going to be forced to go for the shield against the Bubble Beam. We don't do any damage anymore, and the Water Gun Ducknet is going to be a bit of a trickier one. We're going to go for the full farm down. We're going to be able to get a DKO. And in comes the Vigoroth, which is going to get some energy, but they have Brick Break most likely, and most likely have Body Slam. We would be able to double resist both of them. Unless they have Bulldoze, I guess we're going to be fine here. Do they have Bulldoze? No, they're going to have a Rock Slide, and it's still going to be enough to KO us, and sadly we're going to lose this battle. And in total, I think I went 5 out of 15, which I feel like is totally okay. And that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.